Football fans, you are live with Morgan and Holder, third down. I am Morgan.
And I'm Holder, and it's third down with Morgan Holder. Morgan.
You know what? That's why I got you over here, okay? I want to give a shout out to First Take, Undisputed, and Mike and Mike.
Do you do this every week? Why do you do this every week?
It's the best sports show ever. All three of them. I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you name one person from each show? I
mean, Mike. We have we have Stephen A. Smith. I mean,
you gotta love Stephen A.
Exactly. Stephen A. is my favorite analyst. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's all right.
What? Stephen A. is the greatest.
He's all right.
I don't know about that.
Sometimes Stephen A. has to eat his word. He has to lie.
That's because he says the truth. He tells the truth. No one likes it.
Yeah, but he gets proven wrong every now and
then. Maybe 10% of the time.
Now, I love Stephen A. because he's a Steelers fan, like myself.
Oh, God.
But
Pittsburgh.
I got to give a shout out to the Pivot, Speak for Yourself, and Get Up. You got Greeny at Get Up. You got Acho at Speak for Yourself, and my man Ryan Clark, number 25, who also played for the Washington Redskins when they had, what was that brother that got killed?
Sean Taylor.
They played together.
Sean Taylor was the best defensive player back in that era.
He was good. That dude was good. And Ryan Clark played with him.
Ryan Clark, I don't know who Ryan Clark is.
Those are my shows. Those are the top shows. And then I'll give Stephen A. a little bit something.
Stephen A., man, you got to give him a big shout out. I like Stephen A. Smith. I like how he brings the noise. Speaking of fans, before we get into this Cowboys-Giants talk, we have a subscriber. By the way, it's somebody very close to me who thinks the Cowboys is going to Super Bowl. I don't believe it.
Well, all Cowboys fans think they're going to the Super Bowl. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic.
They say this every year.
The two starters.
Oh, Elliott. They got to get rid of Elliott.
They have to bench Elliott and Dak.
I mean, every year we hear about the Cowboys going to Super Bowl. It doesn't happen. Give it up, Cowboy fans.
They're not America's team. I didn't even know Dallas had a football team until a few minutes ago.
I forgot about the Cowboys. I mean, even though the Cowboys did beat up Minnesota, I forgot about the Cowboys. Not going to lie. I forgot about them. I forgot they existed. I mean, they haven't won a big playoff game since what? Troy Aikman when he played?
Here's my problem with Dallas. They say, quote unquote, that's America's team.
I don't see it.
But isn't America's colors red, white, and blue?
I thought it was the Patriots myself. I thought the Patriots was America's team. I don't know.
I don't think the Patriots, they're not red, white, and blue. They're like silver.
It doesn't matter. It's still the same almost. They got white jerseys. But, I mean, if you want to be technical.
Okay, so we're talking about the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, I mean, they squeezed by the Giants. They squeezed by on Giants on Thanksgiving. And when I say squeezed by, I don't mean they beat the Giants up really bad. No, they won by 8 points. I know a win's a win. But it's the Giants we're talking about.
I think I picked the Giants, didn't I?
No, you picked the Cowboys.
There's no way I picked the
Yes, you did.
There's no way.
If you pick the Giants, that means we tied. So you better hope you pick the Cowboys.
I won last week.
Unless you pick the Giants. If you pick the Giants, that means we tied. Because I lost by a game.
No, because you lost a couple of other games that I picked.
I only lost by one game. Because you had two other games that lost. Anyways.
Look.
I can't believe the Cowboys squeezed by the Giants. I mean, here I am. I give Giants hope this year, right? I gave them hope, but here I'm talking bad talk about them because it's the Giants. They shut down Barkley, and they won. I mean, On the other hand, Jones didn't do too bad. 21 for 35, 228 yards with a touchdown, right? But if you look at Prescott's numbers, he he went 21 for 30 for 261 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That tells me he needs to work on turning the ball over, right? I mean,
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
and then if you,
definitely, I think that was the only turnover in the game, though, wasn't it?
yeah, it was 2 interceptions. And if you look at CD Lamb, like everybody's talking about, oh, how good he is. 6 catches out of 11 targets.
CD is good.
Was 106
CD
yards.
He's a better quarterback.
I guess.
If CD Lamb was playing with Josh Allen.
Okay, that's a different story.
Trust me.
I mean, even with Kirk Cousins, because look what Jefferson's doing over in Minnesota. You know, so.
Kirk, what? You didn't go there.
I did. But on a good note, and I don't know if it's a good note for you, but it's a good note for me. Because with Cincinnati beating Tennessee, I don't see how Pittsburgh is going to win out, like you claim.
Didn't I pick Cincinnati to beat Tennessee?
You did, and I had Tennessee winning, and you told me the whole week.
You said what made me think Cincinnati was going to beat Tennessee?
Henry got shut down.
Tennessee is not impressive at all.
I mean, they're one-dimensional, and when I say one-dimensional, I keep on saying that they can only run the ball. And I didn't think Cincinnati's defense was up to par to stop that running game. But they did. 38 yards with Henry.
Yeah. Well, see, the problem in Tennessee is they're not a consistent ball club. They kind of remind me of Buffalo.
To extent. And why I say to extent,
like they're like can't be beat sometimes, right?
Right.
They play like they're the powerhouse of the NFL, actually. But then they
choke
down the teams like Pittsburgh used to do. Play down to teams they should beat on paper. But I mean, it was a good game. I watched the game.
It was, and I can't believe they did it without Jamar Chase. Because I like Chase. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think they can beat Tennessee without Jamar Chase. I mean, Higgins did really good.
I don't know. Chase is good, but you know what? You're talking about Joe Burrow, man.
He didn't do too good against Tennessee.
Great, but he is a leader.
Oh, definitely. I can't take that away from him. I mean, Cincinnati they had 108 rushing yards together total. 108. Tennessee only had like without Mixon. Okay. Yes, without Mixon, and that's crazy. I mean, how are you going to have a good rushing yardage without one of your best running backs?
Well, they got good running backs out there, but with Mixon healthy, he's going to get the majority of the touches anyway.
Definitely.
So you don't know anything about the other running backs because Mixon is on the field probably 90% of the time.
You're right. I'm going to say 95% of the time.
Because he's out there.
I mean, and he's really good. I'll give him that.
He's good. I don't like him, but he's good.
You know, what's crazy is I should listen to you when you said this other game. I told you you're out of your mind. But I should listen to you. Jacksonville beating Ravens. That's one of the biggest upsets.
Oh my gosh. I don't know whether to have a victory cigar and I don't smoke, so I'll choke myself to death. But I told you.
But you know what though? It was a good game. But I'm telling you, this week is gonna come back. I'm gonna win. I promise you.
What made you think Jacksonville wasn't gonna win that game?
I just didn't think Jacksonville had it in them to stop Lamar Jackson. I mean, I like
treat Jacksonville like you treat Detroit.
I like Jackson, but he didn't play up to his par.
When does he?
He has been all year because he wants that big contract.
He wants a big contract, but he's not consistent enough.
I mean,
You know, and I think Jacksonville did pretty good defending his tight end Andrews.
right.
So
Well,
if you take him away, you know, Lamar's going to be hurt.
but here's the thing though about that. Like you, how can I put it, man? I'm trying to say this nicely because I don't want the Ravens fans to harsh me, right? So when you think about this, if you want Lamar Jackson to play to his potential or to a big contract, wouldn't you want to spend money to get him help, a line or some receivers?
Well, you know what?
I mean,
I'm going to lay it down to you like this.
I mean, look at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's spending money to help out Trevor Lawrence. Why can't Baltimore do that?
Well, that's a good question, but I think it's too late to do that because now you remember they offered Lamar a nice, healthy contract, and he refused.
Yeah, he wants that. He wants that Deshaun Watson contract. That's what he wants. He wants that Deshaun Watson.
He refused it because they don't have weapons for him. Now, this is his last year on his contract. Right?
I think he's going to leave Baltimore. Yeah, this is his last year. He didn't sign that extension. I think he's going to leave. I think he's going to leave.
Yeah, because I think it's too late to get him weapons now because this is his last year on the contract.
Oh, definitely. But they should have done that years ago. They should have done that two years ago.
That's what I mean. They should have built a team around him.
Especially the year he won MVP. He won the MVP. They should have said, "Oh God, like this guy's gonna be really good. Let's go ahead and get him some weapons." They didn't do that. They didn't do that at all. And Baltimore reminds me of Minnesota in a way because Minnesota has some good players back in the day, and they didn't build around those players. I mean,
well, Minnesota. Let me tell you about Minnesota. When Minnesota had Randy Moss and all those guys, and we can talk about this later, but they had weapons. They had two diehard quarterbacks.
Yeah, but they didn't have a line. They didn't have a line. Like, and that's what Lamar Jackson needs. He needs a line, and he needs.
They didn't have a line. And you're telling me Rod Smith was getting all those yards because they didn't have a line? Come on, man.
They didn't have a great line.
So you're saying Smith got all those yards on his own? He didn't have any help from the line?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that
they even had Klein Saucer. He's like an extra lineman.
I'm just saying they had the line was average. That's all I'm saying. Well, Baltimore's line is terrible. Like
you're right. I mean, we can't digress because we'll talk about Minnesota later. But you're right. I think Lamar is leaving too because if they offered him a contract and he turned it down.
The question is though, where will Lamar go? That's the question because you already have Russell Wilson in Denver, right? You have Justin Herbert's in San Diego, or the Chargers now, Los Angeles. I mean, the question is, where would he go?
I think he'd be a good fit in Seattle.
Do you think so? I mean,
I think so. Look at the weapons out there.
Yeah, I mean they have a good running back, got three good receivers.
Yeah.
But the question is, what would Seattle have to give up to get him? Well, they have to do enough to get him to free up some space. I don't know. I gotta look at that.
That would be the team for me for him. If he was going anywhere, it would be a team that's pretty much established, right?
Right.
They want to get back to and again.
No. What about the Lions? Because the Lions isn't too bad at all either. They're kind of young. What about the Lions? Do you think that's a good fit for him to go there?
That would be a good fit also.
I mean, I'm just thinking outside the box here. Being realistically, what teams would help him out? And honestly, yeah, like you said, Seattle. I think the Lions. Let's get the subscribers and fans in. Let's get your guys' thoughts about Lamar Jackson. Please let us know what you guys think.
Good or bad. Either way, let us know what you think Lamar Jackson's destination should be.
Another thing I can't grasp is Las Vegas beating Seattle in overtime. That game was like the game of the week. I had Seattle winning, but I really thought Las Vegas was going to just tear through Seattle.
I think I picked Las Vegas, didn't I?
You did. I mean, Josh Jacobs had 300 yards, combined. So
he killed it. He was the winning scorer. I mean,
definitely.
He was running all over him.
And I was watching that game because Minnesota didn't play that night, but I was watching that game, and I'm like, man, his defense is just, they gave up. Like, that hole got opened up, and it was like nobody even tried. It was like they just gave up. They threw their hands up. It was like, we're done. I'm over. I was going to get this game over with. They can't do that. They can't do that.
It was a good game, but, like I said, that's a true NFL team. Even though Las Vegas hasn't done well at all this year, but a true ground and pound team, that's old school.
Oh, definitely.
You can control the game by running the ball. And it showed in that game.
You know what surprised me is that Smith, I mean, he went 27 for 37, 328 yards with 2 touchdowns. Like, that's really impressive because Geno Smith, when you talk to Geno Smith, he was like, oh, he's a backup quarterback. He wasn't that great coming out of college. And this year, it's like he's having a breakout year. And he's been in the league for, 10 years?
Well, look who he was playing.
But he
was playing Las Vegas.
Yeah, but he's been putting these good numbers up all year.
Buffalo, do you think he would have had those numbers?
I think so. I mean, he's putting these numbers up all year. I mean, he's being really impressive.
If he was playing Buffalo, do you think he would have had those numbers?
Absolutely.
If he was playing San Diego, do you think he would? If he was playing the Niners, do you think he would have had those numbers? The
Niners is a different story because that's the division. Exactly. So it'd be different. But against the AFC teams, he would do it because they don't see a lot of AFC teams.
Well, I don't really have that kind of faith in Geno Smith.
The question is, do you think Geno Smith's going to be do you think he should be a starter for Seattle? I know we talked about Lamar Jackson, but do you think he's good for Seattle for the rest of a couple years, give or take?
Negative. I think when I think Geno Smith, you'll be surprised at what I'm going to say. I say Panthers.
I mean, I think he's doing good this year because he wants to show people, hey, I can play still. I'm not second fiddle to nobody, and I think that's what he's doing. I think he's giving Seattle hope because he's like, I'm not second fiddle to nobody, and I think it's like now if you get him with a good quarterback like Lamar Jackson, I think he's going to shut down. He's going to say, I suck to compare to him because now I'm going to be back on the bench. I'm playing second fiddle down.
Let me ask you this, Morgan. Let me ask you this, Mr. Stats. Do you think Seattle's not going to draft a quarterback?
Oh, definitely. Here's the thing:
because they have Geno Smith.
If they don't get a quarterback in free agency, they're going to draft one. And when I say free agency, you got to think the likes of Jimmy G. Is he going to be a free agent? Kirk Cousins, is he going to be a free agent? You got to think about stuff like that, right? So I think they will draft one if they can't get one in free agency, or if they might draft one anyways. Doesn't even matter. They might draft one.
Yeah, I don't think Geno Smith is an excellent backup. Teams need excellent backup quarterbacks.
Like
Geno Smith fits that mold.
Like Geno reminds me of Jacoby Brissett. And when I say that, I don't want people to get mad at me when I compare them to.
That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
No, I mean they're not consistent. Like they don't stay on target all the time. But when they do, they can win games.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. I mean, teams, backup quarterback is not a position that should be frowned upon. Because when your star goes down, you need to have a guy that can win 1 or 2 games.
I mean, I hate to talk about this, but look at Tom Brady when Drew Bledsoe went out.
Well, let's not talk about that.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
Let's not talk about that, okay? We can talk about thousands of other quarterbacks. Excuse me, fans. I'm losing my speech here. But, let's move on to the next subject. Let's move to the next subject.
We're
just too much into this.
My Thanksgiving was really good. I don't know about yours, Hoda. Mine was. Let me tell you why mine was really good. Minnesota beating the Patriots. I love that. They got another win. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm glad they beat the Patriots. I'm glad. And Cousins had a phenomenal game. 30 for 37, really good. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. 299 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he did throw 1 interception, but he did really phenomenal. Because 30 out of 37, that means he missed seven throws. That's it. That's really good.
He didn't play too bad. Actually, he didn't play too bad, but he still makes me nervous. I know he's your quarterback, and he still makes me nervous at times.
And I feel like because when Jefferson don't play well, Minnesota loses, or they almost lose, right? But when he's on point, they can blow teams away.
Well, that was just it. I mean, Jefferson. He had some errant throws that Jefferson pulled in.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. But yeah, you're right. When Jefferson doesn't play, they don't. And Thielen had a pretty good game too.
Yeah, but what's crazy is that the running game didn't work too well, but we still won. We only had 57 yards rushing, and we still won.
Yeah, the running game, it lacked luster. Okay?
It did.
It wasn't what it should have been, but hey, you know what?
I'll take that win.
Is a W.
What's crazy is that Mac Jones, he produced really well, but couldn't get the job done. I blame it on the defense. I blame that New England defense. I blame New England defense for not getting that W.
Yeah. I mean,
you shut down Cook, but you couldn't stop the throwing. And that tells me that Minnesota, even though if you shut down Cook, our passing game could be on target when it can be. If you shut down a running game, our passing works. If you shut down our passing, our running game should work. And I know it doesn't work like that, but that's what it should happen.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Not every game is going to go accordingly. So,
I know.
When you can still produce, when you can still be productive, because you guys weren't really one-dimensional, but they still had to worry about Cook.
Oh, definitely. I'm happy because now, if we win this Sunday and then Lions lose, we already clinched our division.
And I think you guys use play action more than anybody else.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's what we should have done last year. We should have done a lot of play action and some screen passes. They didn't do it last year.
And that's what frustrates me about the NFL. You don't see a lot of screen passes anymore. You see more wide receiver screens than you do running back screens.
And running back screens will help out a lot, especially on like 3rd and 2 or 3rd and something, second and 2. Because
and that's what I wish we did in Pittsburgh, because we do tight end screens.
But you know what?
Getting at Canada.
You know what?
Canada is an idiot.
But hold on. You say that, but look.
I digress.
You say that, but you know what? You should be happy because you guys won. Y'all beat, even though it was the Colts, but you still got that W. You should be happy.
Well, the Colts don't have a really bad defense, though. I mean, so yeah, I am happy.
That's true. I mean, but y'all had 172 yards rushing. 172 yards rushing against that defense with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and Benny Snell and McFarland stepped up.
Oh, Benny's! I know.
Harris went out.
When I seen Benny Snell's stats, I was like, "Holy shoot, Holder!" I was like thinking like what Holder is thinking right now. Is he lucky that Pittsburgh get rid of him, or is he like jumping up and down for joy? Like what's going on?
No, I'm still not impressed with Benny Snell. I like him on special teams, but he just doesn't. I attribute that to the offensive line getting better.
So let me ask you a question. Speaking of everything, the Colts, man, like what? Why are they keeping Matt Ryan as a starter after this? I mean, this game especially is terrible for him. 22 for 34 for 199 yards. That's not
too late now. They have to stay with him. So they have to ride the season out.
But here's the thing: like they're second in that division. Do you really think it's too late, or do you think it's
too late to go out and get somebody else? And the guy that they have backing them up, isn't that good either. So they have to ride the season out with what they have.
Now, I'm just going to throw this out there to you. Do you think they should go get Cam Newton? I'm just throwing it out there to you.
I don't know. I just don't know why they went the Matt Ryan route to begin with.
I mean, he was up there in age. He was old. Like,
yeah, but they tried that with Rivers.
Yeah, Philip Rivers.
We talked about that before.
And that was crazy. Like, I don't understand. You had Philip Rivers, and then all of a sudden you got Carson Wentz, and now you're going backwards again by getting Matt Ryan. You should move forward, right? Like, and once they
and you know what? Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Now, I got some stuff to get off my chest. You go ahead and air your laundry.
So I know we got Colts fans out there, but when I say I want the Colts to move forward, they should have drafted a quarterback in the draft. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could have drafted the guy from Ohio State. Oh my goodness. Tennessee got him. Willett from Houston or Liberty. They could have got him.
Well, it's a lot of teams that pass those guys up. With teams that were going, because remember you were like Carolina's going to get picked.
I did say Carolina was going to get picked. I did. And Carolina got, I think, Matt Carroll or something like that instead.
Corral. Didn't Corral go to Atlanta and he got hurt?
No. He still plays in Carolina. Desmond Ryder went to Atlanta. He's Ritter. He's a backup for Marcus Mariota.
Well, you know what? While we're on quarterbacks, Morgan, I'm going to bring up a point. A lot of statisticians and all these guys are down on Kenny Pickett. I did some research. I actually did some Morgan stats.
I'm surprised.
Because I was getting fed up. Right? So when you look at Troy Aikman, right? Hall of Fame quarterback. His rookie year, man, he had a passer rating of 55.7.
And before we go into detail about that, let's explain. Like, by the way, Kenny Pickett didn't play a full season, right? But Troy Aikman did, and that's what's sad.
Well, yeah.
I just want to clear it up for the subscribers and listeners.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I bring these points up. Aaron Rodgers, he didn't get to play a full season because Brett Favre kept coming back, right? But when he actually had control of that team, he had a good passer rating. I mean, he had a passer rating of 93.8.
Right.
4,000 yards, right? He had 13 interceptions and 16 touchdowns. Now, Peyton Manning, right? Now, this is the stunner because Peyton Manning left the NFL as a great quarterback.
Right? Absolutely.
His rookie year, passer rating, I mean, it was 71.2, which is good. 3,700 yards, basically. 26 touchdowns and 28 picks. Right? That's his rookie season. John Elway, he had a passer rating of 54.9 with 1,600 yards, basically, 7 touchdowns and 14 picks. Now, you look at Kenny Pickett, who hasn't played a full. Okay, he played what? He came in the fourth week was his first game as a starter.
Yeah, because he came in the second quarter. But I'm not going to say that was because he didn't play the whole game. He played the second quarter, so you might as well say week 5.
The third game was the Jets, and he came in, and then he started the following game. So the fourth game, he was a starter. And his passer rating is, to this day, 73.5 with only 1,600 yards, 3 touchdowns, which isn't good. And
Well,
8 picks.
let me ask you a question while we're on that subject. Do you think that Kenny Pickett is going to be the best rookie quarterback out of those groups?
Absolutely. He's playing better than anybody. He's playing better. I mean, George Pickens, he doesn't have the yardage, but he has, like, more. He's shown that he's got more talent than all the guys. And a lot of the guys that do these games are saying he should be talked for Rookie of the Year, and he's one of the shining stars when it comes to wide receivers that were drafted.
Speaking of Pickens, I remember when you drafted him, you was so happy. I was like, man, he hasn't played a whole football, NFL game yet. He came from college, and I like the Georgia Bulldogs, and that's what threw you off. He was like, really, Sean? But and they go to say like if Pittsburgh keeps these young players, I hate to say it, I'm not a Pittsburgh fan, but I know there's fans out there of Pittsburgh. I think Pitt's gonna be good in the next 5 to 6 years, if not longer.
5? That is going to pick up next year.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For
be great.
No, that's what I'm saying. For like next 5 years, it'll be good. If everybody stays healthy. So the next 5 years, they should be good, all the way for 5 years.
Absolutely.
That's if they keep everybody stays healthy, they could be good. 5 years, they'd be really good because they're already mushing together. They're already gelling together. Everybody knows everybody's where everybody's at. Like Kenny Pickett, he's gonna know where George Pickens is. He's gonna so.
And we haven't seen Calvin Austin third.
Oh, I can't wait for you. I can't wait for him. Can't wait for him.
Oh my goodness.
Can't wait for him.
Yeah, they got away with that game.
If Jeff Saturday called a timeout, everybody thinks if he uses timeouts, they could have won. I don't think that was possible. I don't think it was going to win.
I don't think they could have won because if they would have called timeout, they would have gave Pittsburgh time to regroup as well.
Oh, definitely.
The defense wouldn't have been as tired. But yeah, those timeouts, whether they would have won the game or not, I believe that was the reason they didn't get, the W. And now listen to this. Hear me out. Everybody's talking about they got guys in the booth and all this, and the guys that should be in his ear saying timeout, timeout, timeout. And they were saying that Matt Ryan should call timeout because he's a veteran.
Yeah,
right?
and he's a captain of that team. Yeah, he should call timeout. Yeah, he's on that field. He knows what to do. He should call timeout.
If nobody's yelling down to him in the headphones to call timeout, that means there's some haters in there because he got the job and the other guys didn't.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So they're not supporting him. They're trying to let him go down with the ship. As a coach, I love Jeff Saturday.
But Jeff Saturday hasn't coached any higher teams besides high school, so I can't bark down on him too much. But he's an NFL player, ex-NFL player. But I can't bark down on Jeff Saturday because this is like his first head coaching job.
Jeff Saturday is a Hall of Famer. Man.
That's true, but I can't bark down on him because like this is his first head coaching job above high school. So
it's just like anything else. It's like an NFL rookie quarterback.
It's a learning. It's a learning lesson, and I think he's going to learn from this game, and I think next week it's going to be a different outcome. He's going to use his timeouts. But do I think the Colts are going to make the playoff? Go ahead.
Did you watch any of the NFL shows where they were talking about this game and the guys were like, you know what, Jeff Saturday is an ex-colleague, so I'm not going to be too crucial.
I did. I heard some stuff about it.
If that was anybody else that was never on the panel, they would have slammed him.
Oh gosh, man!
So there was some bias there, but everybody knows who Jeff Saturday is.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's one of the greatest linemen ever to play the game, and I'm not just saying that. I actually mean that.
Yeah. Oh, he's a great center. He was a great
man.
Even though I hated the Colts then, and we beat him in the playoffs, but yeah, he was a good good center.
I
I wish he could have played for Pittsburgh, but he didn't.
I don't think the Colts will ever get any talent on a team like they have when back when they went to Super Bowl when they beat the Bears. I don't see that team being that good anymore. I'm sorry. I know there's Colt fans out there. I do apologize, but I don't see the Colts being that good. I see them going to playoffs, but I don't see them going all the way to the, you know. I mean, look at the AFC. The AFC is stacked. I'm sorry, it's stacked.
Yeah, I think they'll be a contender in a few years. I really do, because
I don't.
the defense isn't that bad.
No, it's not. But I just don't. And the reason why I don't see
the
it.
offensive line was hurt.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So they're just weak at the quarterback spot. Maybe they can get a receiver or two.
Well, they got good receivers, but the only thing I don't see is again the AFC is stacked. You have Kansas City, you have the Chargers. I hate to say it, but you have Las Vegas who could turn around and be good next year. You know,
I can't see that.
I'm just saying.
I can't.
You got Jacksonville. Jacksonville's really going to be good the next couple of years.
Yeah, Jacksonville is young. They're young,
hungry team. You got Pitt still. The list can go on.
The Jets.
The Jets
have shown promise.
Oh God, yeah, and if they can keep the same players and keep everybody healthy, they would be good in the next 5 years too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's
absolutely.
And I can't forget about the Dolphins. They got with Tua and Hill, if they stay together, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've been that good, and I think that they'll be pretty good. They'll be in other teams' way.
And I'm not trying to.
Postseason.
I don't want fans and the subscribers think I'm bad mouthing the Colts, because I'm not. I'm just laying it out there like the AFC is stacked, so it's hard for the Colts to win anything because they're so stacked over there. They say the AFC isn't like the NFC. The NFC is weak. And I hate to say because I'm a Minnesota fan, but they're weak. It's a weak division.
That division that the Colts are in is going to get tougher.
Oh God! Well,
we know Houston's not going to be a factor.
No. But you got Jacksonville, Tennessee,
and the Colts. That's going to be a pretty tough division.
But if the Colts could be better next year than Tennessee, I think Tennessee is going to drop off and be third. I honestly.
Tennessee is they're not bad. They're
one dimensional.
But
they're one dimensional.
They're a team that's not rebuilding, but they have players in place to take over some of the older guys when the time comes.
I just see them being one dimensional. Until that coach leaves, I see them being one dimensional.
Really?
Yeah. Because you got to think about it. Even when they had A.J. Brown.
Get some wide receivers in this draft.
Well, even when they had A.J. Brown, it was still run.
Yeah, but still, they were a passing threat. They weren't, I get what you're saying, but why not run when you got a guy like that?
But look, okay, so if you do that, but if you do that, look what Cincinnati did. Cincinnati stopped that running game, and guess what? They didn't win. Cincinnati won. So that's what I'm saying. They're one dimensional. So if all you do is run and it gets stopped, and you don't have anything in your back pocket, you're going to lose.
Oh, that's with any team. You had Baltimore that was a run team.
Oh.
Lamar Jackson and his running backs. But Lamar just couldn't throw the ball, accurately. So when they stopped the run, Baltimore lost games.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like being one dimensional is not.
Your big back is supposed to do that. You're supposed to wear the defense down. And like Minnesota, it opens up the wide receiver game or the passing game when you got good running backs. What's his face, Cook and Madison. Those guys are threats.
I see Alexander leaving Minnesota after this year because his contract's going to be up. So we got to get another back in there that can help out Cook.
Madison's the future. He's not going anywhere.
I mean, we got to cook all this money, so
You'll see. You'll see.
I like Alexander over Cook, but you know what else I like, Colder?
Who do you like?
I like my picks I did this week because I know I'm gonna beat you again.
Oh, you're going to do this to yourself again?
I'm gonna beat you this week. I promise you that. Tomorrow, first game of December, Buffalo and New England. I picked Buffalo. Hands down on paper, Buffalo is way better than New England. But that doesn't mean anything because we've seen a lot of upsets this year. But hands down, I believe in Buffalo has to win this game. If Buffalo wants home field advantage, they have to win games. And I think this is one game.
Divisional game? That's a divisional
It
game.
is. That's what I'm saying. They have to win this game. They want home field. They have to win this game. Because it's Buffalo or it's KC and Buffalo right now that's fighting for home field advantage. If Buffalo, they need to start winning games. And this is one game they have to win. They have to.
Let me ask you this, Morgan. Do you think Miami can beat Buffalo?
Ooh, man, it's tough.
It's a good game, isn't it?
That's going to be a good game. I mean,
Good game.
I'm gonna have to say.
You know what?
I'm gonna have to say who has the ball last will win that game. And the reason why I say that is because the offense can score, right? Can score. But the defense has to stop somewhere, somehow. So who has the ball last will win that game.
So, do you believe that regardless of venue, if they're playing in Miami,
it doesn't even matter.
You don't think Buffalo has a more hostile environment than Miami?
Buffalo lost against Minnesota and Buffalo.
I know.
And I'm a big believer. I love Minnesota, but I think Miami can play Buffalo and still win because Miami they have ripping just like Minnesota does, and the quarterback's 10 times better than Cousins. I hate to say that because I love Minnesota, but Tua is 10 times better than Kirk Cousins.
True. You know what? I don't have to hook you up to a polygraph because you're telling the truth right now. Normally, I would have to give you the lie detector test, okay? But a lot of truth coming out of you today.
That's because you asked that question, man, and it was like, man, Miami's really good this year. Buffalo is good, but who would win? And I believe Miami will. But again, it comes down to who has the ball last. Because we've seen the Jets when Buffalo had the ball last against the Jets, Buffalo they couldn't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
And I think Miami's defense is a lot better than the Jets' defense. I like Sauce Gardner, but Miami's defense is a little bit better.
Yeah. You know what? You might want to move on to the next subject because I'm starting to get the machine out here. I'm going to have to hook you up. But you're right because the Jets are a young defense.
Oh, definitely.
They still got a lot of growing to do. We both picked Buffalo, and
we
I
did.
think we both picked the next pick too, didn't we?
Oh, we picked the next. We picked Pittsburgh. Yeah, we both picked Pittsburgh, and the reason why I picked Pittsburgh, I didn't want to, but I was like, if I want to win this week, I got to, because hands down, Pittsburgh's better than Atlanta.
Yeah.
Defense and offensively, and I know last week I picked Atlanta, and I picked Washington. My bad. Never mind. Forget that.
Yeah, shame on you.
But you picked Atlanta last week, and they lost.
No, are you sure about that?
I'm positive. Because I picked Washington, you picked Atlanta.
I picked Atlanta. Yeah, you're right. I picked Atlanta, and they barely lost. Lucky for you.
It doesn't matter. I'll take that win. But
they threw a pick, and they threw a pick in the end zone or something, and
something like that.
Over.
Yeah.
So okay, you got the W on that one.
Again, Pittsburgh is a lot better than Atlanta on paper. The next pick we both picked the same team. We both picked Green Bay, and that was kind of hard for me because I don't like Green Bay because they're in Minnesota's conference, our division. I don't like the Bears because, again, they're Minnesota's division. But when it came down to it, I want to win this week. And I was like, Green Bay is going to beat Chicago.
Let me ask you this, my friend. How tall are you? Like 5'2"?
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah, your heart is 6 foot. The rest of you physically is borderline dwarf. But anyway.
I am tall for my age.
Green Bay, didn't Aaron Rodgers get hurt at the end of the game?
But
is he going to play this week?
He's questionable, but Justin Fields is hurt too. Separated shoulder, some torn ligaments. He's questionable.
Yeah.
And I think Love is better than Chicago's backup. I don't know who Chicago's backup is.
Can pull it out? You think Love can pull it out if he starts?
Definitely, because he wants to be the starter. When Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, he wants that torch passed down to him.
So let me ask you this, Morgan, and I know I'm going to get your honest opinion on this game. Would you watch this game?
No. No.
I'm glad you said that.
No.
You would have been out of the football club if you would have.
I wanted to say yes because I want to see both of these games. This game because again it's Minnesota's division. But honestly, Chicago and Green Bay is really not a threat to Minnesota this year. So no, I'm not going to watch it.
This next pick was really tough for me.
It wasn't tough for me.
Really?
I'm going to tell you why.
Really
It's not tough for me. I got Jacksonville.
Tell me why.
And the reason I got Jacksonville is because, again, if Minnesota wins and Detroit loses, Minnesota will lock up the division. Oh, I did get Detroit. My bad. I hope they lose, though. I picked Detroit, but I hope they lose.
Now, look. Here's the only reason.
And the reason why I picked Detroit is because they're playing at home. If they was playing in Jacksonville, it'd be totally different. I would have picked Jacksonville.
What have I been telling you all season about these two teams? That's why it was tough for me to decide.
It wasn't tough. I mean, it was, but it wasn't because I was like, man, if Detroit loses, we'll clinch the division. But at the same time, they're playing at home, and it's really tough for somebody to beat the Lions at home. Because it was
tough for me. I just felt like Jacksonville's defense will give Detroit's quarterback, what's his name?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. I like Jared Goff. He stumbles from time to time.
Oh, definitely.
When he was with the Rams. He was pretty good.
I'm going to tell you right now, this game right here, this Detroit and Jacksonville game, is probably the game of the year. And the reason why I say that is the reason why I say that is because it's going to go to overtime. That's how I feel. I think it's going to be a really good game. Really good. It's going to be defense versus defense, offense versus offense. It's going to be really good.
So, Morgan, our fans are like listening and, okay, we're not going to extend this. So give me a score for this game.
Man, I'm going to say 23-20.
23-20.
Detroit.
Okay. I can't give you a score because I don't know. I'm thinking more like 6-3 or 9-6.
Okay. And this game I'm going to watch. I'm actually going to watch this game.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to flip back and forth between Minnesota and this game. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to watch both games. Because, again, I got Detroit winning, but they lose and Minnesota wins. We're division champs.
You're division champs. So, our next question for you is, who do you have against the Jets? Do you have Minnesota? Or do you
know dang well I got the Minnesota. What kind of question was that?
And so do you have Minnesota because they beat Buffalo? Or because that's your team and you're just a biased pick?
I picked Minnesota because that's my team. Now, when they play somebody else who I know can beat them, then I might be 50-50. But I picked Minnesota because that's my team.
I picked Minnesota, but let me ask you this serious question. I've been lining these questions up all week. If Minnesota goes to when Minnesota gets to the playoffs, do they have a solid field goal kicker that won't fail them?
The kicker they have.
The history of that. You know the history.
I do. The kicker they have is good, but again, when it comes to the big games, people choke.
You didn't use the C word.
I did. Peyton Manning choked. I
picked Minnesota too. I picked Minnesota, but I like the Jets. And
here's the thing though, the Jets. It depends on who's playing this week, right? Is it going to be Mike White or is it going to be Zach Wilson? That's the question. Because both of them are good, but one of them isn't always consistent.
Yeah, you're right.
I like both of them though.
That's where I am. I think the Jets are a defensive team right now. I think the defense keeps that offense, keeps that team.
And you know it's gonna be a good matchup.
Close game.
It's gonna be a good matchup. I want to see Sauce Gardner versus Justin Jefferson. That's because I like Gardner, but I want Justin Jefferson to get his yards too. But I want to see them two. I want to see them two go at it.
That's this game picture in a picture.
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game. I like Sauce Gardner, but Justin Jefferson, man, that's the future of Minnesota. I want him to get his yards, but at the same time, I want him to tell the rookie, hey, look, you can't hold me, but at the same time, I'm gonna give you props if you do.
You know what? I'm interested. I think our listeners are probably interested.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Sauce Gardner kind of shut down Diggs when the Jets beat Buffalo.
He did.
So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, it is. You know, this next pick, I can't believe I picked this team.
Yeah, because you dogged me every time I picked this team. You dogged me. You dogged me.
I can't believe that I picked this team. You know, I don't know if I
think he was. I think he was sick.
I may have blacked out, or I don't know, stubbed my toe on the wall. I don't know, but
well, this is my upset. This is my upset pick.
I don't. Now, are the Giants favored? Are the Giants actually favored?
They are. And it doesn't even matter because they're tied with Dallas anyways. Washington, yes, I picked Washington. They're like last night.
You have this hidden love for Washington because of Chase Young.
Oh, I love Chase Young. He, I love defensive players. When it comes to Chase Young, like
I do too.
When it comes to Chase Young, I hope and pray he leaves Washington and goes to Minnesota. Even though I know that won't happen, but I wish that would happen. I'm just saying, I love Chase Young.
That's not going to happen.
Like I love Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was my favorite linebacker. Chase Young's my favorite defensive player right now. So
I think Washington is going to keep him well fed with money.
Oh, definitely.
I just can't see them letting him get away.
I'm hoping that you do.
If he does go, he'll be leaving for a really big contract.
Oh, definitely. Hey, look, Minnesota. If he leaves, Minnesota should go ahead and empty the checkbooks out. Go ahead and sign him.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Even though I know he had a serious injury, but honestly, I still think he's going to be the same player. I really do. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Morgan. I picked Cincinnati over Tennessee. Why did I pick Tennessee to beat Philly?
I don't know why you picked Tennessee to beat Philly. That right there was a mind blower because hands down on paper, Philadelphia is 10 times better. On paper.
But I have a feeling, and I hope it's not gas, but I have a feeling that Tennessee is going to pull this one off.
I don't know.
I truly believe that Philly is going to lose 3 games before the season is over, and this is one of them.
I don't think they're going to lose against Tennessee, but I don't know because I lost against Washington. I'm hoping and praying that Philadelphia pulls this W off against Tennessee. But if they do lose and the Vikings win, I'm okay with that because that means Philadelphia and Minnesota has the same record. But I want Philadelphia to win because I want to beat you this week. I want all my picks to win, and your picks losing so I can rub it inside your face that, hey, I smoked you this week.
Well, last week's pick took one game, right?
It did. I want all my picks to win, though, so I can rub it in your face and be like, Holder, I won. What do you guys say?
How did you pick Baltimore to beat Denver?
Denver hasn't showed me anything. I'm sorry. Russell Wilson is not the same Russell Wilson he used to be in Seattle.
I've been telling you this all year.
Like, he's not the same. And it showed last week. And I'm like, man, he played like a Hall of Famer when he played in Seattle, but in Denver, it's like he's an average quarterback.
Morgan, I'm going to take you back. Get in the time machine with me.
I don't want to.
And remember when this trade was made, how huge it was. And everybody was on the Denver bandwagon.
Oh, God. They was thought them going to Super Bowl, and I was like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
But
do you remember that?
I did.
And look what's going on. I mean, it is totally opposite of what everybody thought was going to happen.
And I just don't think Denver's defense can stop Lamar Jackson. The defense hasn't shown me nothing this year. Nothing.
That's true. But my thing is the offense. Because Russell Wilson
And he has good receivers.
The face of that franchise.
And he has two good receivers.
That offense is going to produce enough to beat Baltimore.
No. And the thing is, Denver has two good receivers. I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't get it either. But we both picked Baltimore.
And that was an easy pick for me. That was hands down easy. I was like, I didn't have to think about it. Baltimore's going to win.
That was easy. That was no brainer.
And this next game is going to be easy.
If they lose, we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm going to have to reevaluate Baltimore. Baltimore lose against Denver. I'm going to have to evaluate Baltimore and let my fans who think Baltimore's going to go to Super Bowl, let you guys know they're not going to go if they lose against Denver. I'm just going to let y'all know right now.
Baltimore is not going anywhere if they have to play Buffalo because Lamar has choked every time he's faced Buffalo.
It's true. Josh Allen does have his numbers. The next pick was really easy because Deshaun Watson's coming back. So I got Cleveland beating Houston. Even if Watson wasn't coming back, I still would pick Cleveland because Jacoby Brissett.
That pick was hard for me.
What?
Not because
you want Cleveland to lose. So
Cleveland's a better team, but we're getting late into the season, and Pittsburgh has to put up wins.
That's true.
And we need the other teams, Cleveland and Cincinnati, to lose some games.
Oh, so definitely.
It was hard for me. Cleveland is clearly a better talented team.
Oh, yeah.
But in my heart, I want Cleveland to
lose. Speaking of Tennessee, did you know that some of the females who accused of Deshaun Watson of the sexual or like sexual assault or whatever, some of the females are going to that game?
What does that have to do with Tennessee?
We're talking about it's Cleveland, Houston. We're talking about Tennessee.
Speaking of Tennessee.
Oh, speaking of Houston, I said Texas. Speaking of like, it just don't make sense to me. Like, I said Texans. I don't know. It might sound like I said Tennessee, but I said Texans. But
no, you said Tennessee.
Did I don't know.
When you listen to the show later, okay, wait a minute, listeners, if you're listening, please respond and tell Morgan what he said.
I'm pretty sure I said Texans, but I'm pretty sure I said Texans. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
okay.
It just
drink some milk, buddy.
It's a mind blogger because if he did these things to you like you said he did, then why you want to go watch him play? Why? Because you're spending money to welcome him back, right? That's how I feel. You're spending money to welcome him back. I could be wrong.
Morgan, I don't think he's going to have a good game.
I
He's
think
rusty.
it's gonna be phenomenal. He's playing against the Houston Texans.
His legs might be phenomenal, but I don't think his accuracy is going to be.
He's going.
All that.
He's going to throw over 200 yards.
I picked Cleveland, but no.
You
I
know,
don't see it.
you know, Holder. What I understand about you is this next pick you did. Do you not have faith in Seattle?
Did we just talk about Geno Smith?
There are so many injuries. So many injuries on the Rams. Aaron Donald, he's questionable. Cooper Kupp is out. Matthew Stafford is hurt. Like, there are so many injuries on that team right now, and you have them beating Seattle.
I don't have any faith in Seattle.
You never do.
You know, the Rams, I like their head coach. Their head coach, you know, he has an offensive mind. He's an offensive-minded coach. And granted, they don't have the talent on the field.
They sure don't.
But, you know, you got DK and you have, what's the other guy?
Tyler Lockett.
The receiver. Lockett. I think they'll do great. My question is Geno Smith going to do great?
Oh, definitely. He's going to throw for over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns.
You said 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns. Over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Write it down.
You already have the pink tutu thing. I'm not going to touch that, but I think they'll win.
Let's go ahead and make a wager for this.
I think they'll have some running touchdowns. They may have 2 touchdowns through the air.
Oh, they're going to have 3 through the air, 1 through the ground.
I don't see 3.
3 through the air, 1 through the ground. I'm telling you. Mark it down. When that happens,
Been on the Seattle bandwagon.
I'm not.
Since Russell Wilson left.
Seattle's really good this year. They're actually they was in first. They lost, but they was actually in first place, which was surprising.
I don't think you're getting enough oxygen to your brain because of your height.
I'm 6 foot, my guy. 6 foot. You know, this next pick was kind of hard for me because I like San Francisco, but I also like Miami this year. I have to go with the 49ers because the 49ers has way too much talent over there, especially with Christian McCaffrey. He's over there. Debo's over there. You got Kittles. I had to go with 49ers.
You know, I agree, but I don't agree for the same reason you do. I agree because that defense is playing so good.
Oh yeah, they are playing good. They are playing good.
That defense is playing so good. I mean, here's a visual I want you to see. Right?
I think Bosa's gonna get 3 sacks in this game.
The defense is the cocoa, and the offense are the marshmallows. Okay. That team.
I wouldn't say that, but okay.
That team.
I would say more like coffee and sugar.
I don't think Jimmy G is one of those elite quarterbacks, but that defense is putting him in good position.
Defense wins championships.
Win those games.
The only time I tell people, defense wins championships.
Yeah, they are an extremely talented team on both sides of the ball.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I love George Kittle. I think George Kittle is better than Kelsey.
You know what? Yeah, but I have to agree with you because Kelsey has a great quarterback. Kittles doesn't have an elite quarterback, like you said. I have to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, they're both good.
I mean, both of them are good players.
But I think Kittle is a little stronger. I think Kelsey is more of a finesse tight end.
Yeah.
And Kelsey is fast, and he challenges.
But he's not as big as Kittles.
He's not as big.
Kittles is strong. Yeah, I agree with you. I can't argue with you because I have to agree because, again, Kittle's getting all these yards with not an elite quarterback, with, I'm going to say, maybe a top 50 quarterback, where Kelsey he has a top 5 quarterback who's elite and he's getting these yards. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, even said, those are the top tight ends in the league. Those are the top
God. Those are the best tight ends in the league. The greatest tight ends right now in the league. Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you. Yeah. You know, speaking of Kelsey, we both have Kansas City beating Cincinnati. And I'm going to ask you, why did you pick Kansas City over Cincinnati? Because you picked Cincinnati beat Tennessee last week.
Because it's time for Cincinnati to start stacking losses and Pittsburgh to start stacking wins.
I knew you was going to say that.
It makes sense to me. And I think Kelsey is going to just rip through Cincinnati.
Well, not just that. I mean, shoot. I mean, you have some good receivers over there, and Casey as well. So,
you know, while we're on KC, did you know that Juju Smith-Schuster took a shot at Mike Tomlin?
No.
And said he's learned more in Kansas City than he has at his time in Pittsburgh.
I did not know that. And of course, he's going to say that because he's winning games over there, and he has a good quarterback. So of course he's going to say that because he's going to stay on that. I think Kansas City signed him for 1 year, so yeah, he's going to say that because he wants a bigger contract.
Yeah, he took 2 shots in 2 separate interviews, and
I don't think Juju is that good though.
Here's the thing. Juju is coming back to Cincinnati. You remember that time he was dancing on the logo.
Oh, God. When y'all lost.
And they pasted him.
Yes.
So he's going to still have that mark on him out
Oh,
there.
Definitely. That is true. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Because
No, it's not.
Because Kansas City didn't beat the Chargers like they're supposed to. Chargers.
No, it's not. Let me give you a score there, Morgan.
Go ahead and give me a score.
I'm going to say 28-10.
28-10?
28-10.
Wow. Cincinnati fans, you hear that? Holders of Kansas City is going to win 28-10 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Please, Cincinnati fans, let us know your thoughts.
Oh, so you think that's a shocker? What do you think the score will be, Morgan?
I can't tell you. And I don't think it'll be that
You're
bad.
saying that. I'm reading that you think it's going to be a really close game.
I do. I'm going to say 21-14.
21-14 down to the wire, or 21-14 without sweating?
21-14 without sweating.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because the Bengals do have some good receivers over there, and Jamar Chase is coming back this game. So
he's coming back, but can the Bengals stop?
I don't think the Bengals are going to stop Kelsey. But the question I have to ask is can KC stop 3 good receivers that the Bengals have? That's what I'm saying. 21-14.
Absolutely. Here's the thing, Morgan. When Jamar Chase is on the field, those other 2 receivers don't mean anything. They're not productive.
I don't know because Higgins got some good yardage even with Chase on the field. I'm just saying.
Higgins, now, before you said Higgins and Boyd weren't doing well this year. Because now, all of a sudden, when
I had to go look at stats. When I look at stats, Higgins and Jamar Chase had some good yards together.
Higgins has played good lately, because Chase is out of the spotlight.
I don't know. You should go look back at the stats.
I think I don't think anybody can bottle up Chase, but
and here's a question. Kansas City's running game ain't that good, but Cincinnati's is. I got Kansas City. I got them winning. It doesn't even matter. I got them winning. I'm just saying 21-14 is going to be the final score.
You know what, Morgan? There's a lot of things about you I like, but there's something about you I don't like on this next pick.
Well, I got the Chargers.
You just bashed the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, you missed the pick. You missed the pick.
Look, I understand that, but I just couldn't wait to talk about this subject. We can talk about your Super Bowl bound Chargers versus the Raiders first.
I got the Chargers winning. Hands down, Chargers is better than the Las Vegas Raiders.
What if they lose?
they're not going to the playoffs. Simple as that. They lose, they're not going to the playoffs. Right now, they're in a good position to make the playoffs because I think, they're like 6-4 or 7-4 or something like that. But
yeah, they're in a pretty good position.
But they lose against
still mathematically in it.
But if they lose against Vegas, they're done. Because if you lose against any team, like if you lose against Houston Texans or Las Vegas Raiders, your playoff hopes go down the drain. Sorry, fans.
Let me ask you this, Morgan.
Go ahead.
Morgan, you're my favorite target today. If the LA Chargers lose to the Raiders, will they be a Super Bowl threat next season?
No! Let me finish the season out first.
Playoffs this year.
Let me finish the season out first, and then ask me then.
If they don't make the playoffs this year, will they be a threat to make a run for the Super Bowl next season?
Definitely. Those injuries that happened this year. So yeah, healthy, the Chargers will be dangerous next year. If healthy. No question asked.
Okay. I thought I'd put you up against the wall on that one, but evidently not.
No, because the Chargers did have some injuries. But again, if the injuries don't occur next year, the Chargers will be a threat.
Yeah, I still like the Chargers.
Now the question is,
they're a young team. And
They are. The question I have to ask myself. The question I have to ask myself, because I want to answer this question, is: if the Chargers make the playoffs this year, will they go all the way? And that answer is no. They would not go all the way. I thought they would, but again, injuries happen. But no, they won't go all the way this year. They'll probably lose in the first round.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that.
Especially if they play against Buffalo or KC, they're going to lose.
If they make the playoffs.
If they make
playoffs.
playoffs.
You know what? Teams have gotten lucky in some years, and
like your Pittsburgh team last year.
Stack wins, because let's remember this, Morgan. The last game of the regular season is the end of the regular season.
Oh, definitely.
Everybody's undefeated in the postseason.
Definitely. Gonna go home.
So, I mean, it's possible, but I don't think the Chargers will make the playoffs here.
It's a 50-50. 50-50.
It is, but that's just my opinion, you know.
I don't think Pittsburgh's...
I love you, Charger fans. I was in San Diego for 28 beautiful years.
I don't think Pittsburgh's going to make the playoffs this year.
LA. What did you say?
I don't think Pittsburgh's going to make the playoffs this year.
You know what? Here's the problem with you. You can't put a rib bone down when there's no meat on the bone. You just keep eating that bone.
You know what's crazy is that I don't eat pork or beef, so that's what's crazy.
There was a time in your life, Morgan.
You know what, Holder?
You had a rib in your hand. Okay.
You know what?
And there was a bone.
You know, we ain't gonna talk about that. Moving on to the next game. Yes, I picked the Cowboys over the Colts. The reason why I did that because the Colts are terrible. Terrible.
Didn't you say, quote unquote, the Cowboys suck?
I did. But hold on, didn't you say the same thing earlier and you picked the Cowboys as well?
You know why I picked the Cowboys?
No, you didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question.
Because of their cheerleaders.
I have to agree.
That's the only reason I picked the Cowboys. Well, I picked the Cowboys. Yes, I said that, but the Cowboys are at home.
I mean, if the Colts showed me some the reason, show me some factors of why I should pick them, then I would have picked them. But they are terrible this year. They suck. They tied with the Houston Texans. They lose games they're supposed to win. Matt Ryan is terrible.
Morgan, didn't you say all the talent was in the AFC?
I did. But again,
now
that doesn't mean the Colts have talent. I can name all the teams in the AFC that has good talent. The Colts ain't one of them.
So you're telling me Taylor is not a good running back?
That's it. That's all they have. Him and Pittman. They don't have nobody else good on offense. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'll run with you on this one, but I'm running behind you, okay? I'm not trying to take any hits to anything. When you go down, I'm all alone. But I agree with you. I do agree. So this next pick, I don't know why you did it, because we both hate Tom Brady.
I did it because I want to beat you this week, and I don't think New Orleans is going to beat Tampa Bay.
We both hate Tom Brady.
That's true. But again, I want to beat you this week, and I want to beat you so bad. That's why I picked Tampa Bay, because New Orleans is not going to win.
Morgan.
I'm just saying.
I have not picked Tampa Bay all season.
It doesn't matter. I want to win. I want to beat you.
You want to win, so this was a desperate pick.
I wouldn't say desperate. I wouldn't say desperate.
This is a desperate pick.
I wouldn't say desperate.
You want to beat me.
I wouldn't say desperate. This is me knowing my stats.
There you go. Did you run any stats? Yes, you did. You did run some stats this year. I'm impressed.
I love my stats. Just saying.
Well, you know what? This was a pretty good show. I got a lot out of you. Trying to get stuff out of you is like, getting water from a rock.
What?
But we'll see. I think I'm going to win again this week.
Negative. You know what, Holder? You know what? I'm going to do something that I wouldn't ever do. If you beat me, I will pick my fingernails and post it.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. So there's the tutu and painted fingernails.
Just saying.
If this happens, Morgan, please let your wife pick the color. Okay?
I'm gonna pick clear.
Purple.
I was gonna pick clear.
What you're going to do if you lose this week?
I'm gonna win.
Every other fingernail would be black and gold.
No, I'm not going black and gold. I will go with gold and purple because that's a Viking.
Fingernail, black and yellow.
Oh, I could do that.
I'm sorry.
I could do that. Deal.
I'm sorry.
Deal. If you lose, and when you lose, you have to post. You have to send me a picture. I gotta post it if you wearing a Minnesota t-shirt.
See, I'm not gonna go there.
What?
You voluntarily.
You know what?
Wanted to paint your fingernails.
You know what, Holder? Because you gotta keep the show interesting, and you're not doing that. I'm doing it, but you're not doing it, Holder.
Hey, I applaud you for that. I will do the major things in the postseason.
Okay, fine. You know what? If you beat me this week, I will paint my fingernails on one hand black, other one yellow.
Look, Morgan, I don't want you to do that. Okay?
No, it's already too late. It's already too late. I have hopes myself. That I'm gonna beat you this week, so I'm gonna do this.
Oh my God. Okay, well that's your call, fans. You heard it. I tried to get him out of this, but he wants to hold strong. He wants 2 glass. That's all he wants.
I'm gonna beat you this week. I'm gonna beat you really bad. You're gonna cry, and you'll be like, Sean, you should have stopped.
If that time comes.
Oh, and when it happens, I'm gonna read the message of you telling me that it was luck and you're crying. I'm gonna read that message, even if you don't put crying in there. I'm gonna say it anyways.
Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll fake cry if I lose this week.
I'm gonna put it in a text message.
I will make it sound real. Okay.
Even if you text me and you don't say you're crying, I'm gonna say you are. Just saying. Well, fans, you this was another episode of Third Down with Morgan Holder. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed, giving out information and talking about football. And I hope you guys listen. I hope you guys like it. Again, I want feedback. I want to know what we can work on.
Morgan.
What?
Morgan, let me give you this one nugget before you do your sign-off.
Go ahead.
And get the fans information on how to contact us. I picked us up an extra subscriber that hates football, despises My daughter, she said I owed her big time. She subscribed. She said she's not going to listen to the show, but she subscribed. So I want to send a shout out to my daughter. Thank you, baby. You smell for not being a Steelers fan.
When you talk to your daughter, tell her I said thank you, and I am happy she subscribed.
I'll do that. So you go ahead and say whatever you were going to say to our listeners, and I'll do my sign off when you're done.
So, subscriber listeners, give us feedback. I want to know what we can improve on. I know Holder has to improve on his microphone skills, but
Oh my goodness!
I want to know what we have to work on, what we can do to make this show better and entertaining. I want more listeners. I want more subscribers. So please reach out. Let us know if you can do that. And you don't have to. I don't have to read your comment. If you be like, hey, Sean, don't read my comment, but this is what you guys can do. I won't read it. I'll keep it confidential. But again, let's go to the YouTube page, Third Down Morgan Holder on YouTube page. Hit subscribe, comment, or you can email us at thirddownwithmorganholder, 3RD downwithmorganholder at gmail.com. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I enjoyed giving you guys a good time. I know it's a little late. I'm sorry. I apologize about that. We had a birthday party and I worked. And we're almost at an hour and a half, and I do apologize. So with that being said, don't let fourth down get you.
And with that being said by Morgan, I am going to say this, listeners and subscribers. Let's get together at the end of the season and buy some platform shoes for Morgan so he can get some air.
I'm 6 foot.
I'm going to sign. Yeah, okay, buddy. I'm going to sign off by saying, let me say this. I'm going to refresh you guys for the new listeners. I am a chemistry and talent guy. Morgan is a stats guy. He believes in stats. He's 100% on stats. So my side of the field, for you guys that believe in chemistry and talent, I send a shout out to you. Thank you for listening. And I'm going to sign out by saying stay penalty free and have a good week, and we'll see you next week.